They run again on first down. Cook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Mon. Eluding the pressure right. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
Cut it flip. Cut it flip. We got 3. We got 3. Man, thank you. 41's got that. 41's the ball. Let's go. Let's go.
Mon now off of play action. He'll buy some time right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Sliding out of the pocket. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. As the first half is winding down, and the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Mon going to throw it. And Cook has it, left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good first down call as the screenplay gets them 9.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 88 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Mod. That is caught by Thielen. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablet.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's a 2nd down. Here's Fields. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he will have the Bears' first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Fields throwing again. Dancing to his left. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That was earning a first down the hard way. You want your quarterback to be a scrapper, but you also want to keep him upright. He paid for that first down by taking a big-time hit.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Swings this out here for Cohen. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Throwing on third down, Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 108 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, Mond. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Eddie Goldman with a sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the third quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Being chased out left. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the 1st down.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. A nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Mond. Flushed out right. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it again with Cook. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Flush to his right. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Mon looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook there to make the grab. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Off play action, Fields. Steps, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Everson Griffin able to record his 5th sack of the season. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they hope to polish things off, and what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
How about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game,
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
From the gun on third down, Fields. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 38. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The interception was a good starting point, but still a huge hill to climb with his 3-score deficit, and time faded. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On third and short to give to the tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll just get rid of it.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
To throw again on second down. Fields. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. Buying time to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. They snap it to Fields. Looking downfield for Godwin. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter. But second, third, and fourth quarter, they held him scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you know a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Minnesota, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the loss here will move them back to 500.